my good friend Punk.
Hello.
And we've got a race between Kanzeon and Stealing Bread. They are out of group
Dear Force?
Deer Force. Nice. And it looks like, let's take a look at their PBs and such on Deer Tier while they get this race started and make their way through Series Station.
Yeah, so apparently Kanzeon is number 37 on the leaderboard with a 124.08, while Stealing Bread is number 81 on the leaderboard with a respectable time of 132.27. So we have like merely 8 minutes between the two runners, which we saw in the last race. Doesn't really mean anything if you do some mistakes or if you play really, really well. So that's definitely going to be a thrilling race to watch.
Hey, and the other thing too, I hear that Stealing Bread beat the world record holder the other day. He managed to beat out Zosty.
Right, yeah, that's also something to consider. Like, I think Zosty doesn't really do that good in this tournament, right? I think he had like one loss and one forfeit already. So, yeah, this tournament is really open for surprises.
It looks like he has one win and one loss so far. He's got 2 races to go. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Either way, it sounds like these runners are going to be playing it super safe today. I don't think either of them wants a death in the tournament. It looks like Kanzeon, it's the clincher for him. If he doesn't win this race, it looks like he's not going to make it into the single limb, so he has to win this one.
Yeah, Stealing Bread's playing it really safe here on the escape, doesn't want to get hit by too much steam here. Still making it out with a 38 here. Also, we're gonna try to keep you up with the vague pace of the two runners, but unfortunately both runners don't have their splits up, so we can't give exact information about how they are in relation to their PBs. I think that's actually something many runners do, right? Like actually not keeping up their splits so that they don't worry about, but just can fully focus on the race, not doing too many big mistakes. And if you get a good time, that's just like a nice little bonus. But under race circumstances, it's like always a little bit more stress, always a little bit harder it feels, and then you really just want to focus on your time and don't worry about like PB paces or splits.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I know that whenever I have my timer open in a race, I'm always looking at it and being like, oh, I'm 30 seconds behind. Oh, I'm 6 minutes behind, you know? And that's, it doesn't help.
Right.
Plus, I know with Kanzeon, he had a really solid PB a while ago with his 124, and he's been a little disenfranchised with the game ever since, so clearing his split's not a bad idea.
So far into the run, this is not really any different from like any other category. We're just going to collect the basic items, wolf ball, missiles, and the bombs, and from there on, it's going to be a little bit more interesting. But so far, this is just really standard play. I guess everyone who runs Super Metroid did the sequence like 1,000 times at least, just because this is really optimized for any runner. Of course, there's like little stuff, but the first really hard part that's going to be coming up is going to be the reversed Old Mother Brain Room, and after that the climb, which has a lot of potential for different styles, but is always hard and it's always punishing if you fail it.
Yeah, I think the Old Mother Brain Room isn't too much of a challenge. If you screw that up, it's not a big deal. It's easy to recover. The climb, however, can be incredibly frustrating. If you're going to try to climb up the right side of the wall there, if you miss one of the wall jumps, you fall back down, and it takes a long time to make your way back up.
Well, unless you do the behemoth method, which we saw in the race before, and I wonder if one of the runners is going to go for it. Like, usually what you said is most runners are going to just climb up the right wall, doing some wall jumps, which we see Kanzeon doing here. With the behemoth method, you actually use more like the platforms, do a little bit more down grabbing. It's a little slower, but way less punishing. And optimally, you want to leave all of those rooms with full health to get up on the first mini-boss, which would be Bomb Teresa. But so far, both of the runners look really good.
Yeah, that looks like an absolutely spectacular climb from both of our runners here. Stealinbread just seconds behind Kanzeon right now. He'll be able to make up that time, hopefully during Bomb Chorizo.
Yeah, you
Bomb
really
Chorizo, yeah, he can be very fickle with his drops, so we'll see what happens here.
yeah, both runners entering the fight with full health, it seems. So as long as you know the spot that you can pretty much stand on and know how to influence Bomb Teresa's movement, you're basically fine and should not get hit. But if you get hit and you need to rely on drop RNG, Bomb Teresa is most likely just going to give you health, and you'll have to fight him off like with almost only P-Shooter, which takes way longer than if you would utilize missiles, which Kanzeon does here really well. It's like a really good fight off so far.
Yeah, optimally, you want to collect some of the missile drops after picking them up, and leave a few hanging in the air so that you can pick some more up later, as we see Stealinbread doing right now. That was a more optimal fight from Stealinbread, so he's making up time there.
Yeah, definitely not a bad fight for both of the runners, but Stealinbread definitely a better fight here. Actually going for a mock ball here, really interesting. Let's see if he gets Alcatraz first try, just as Kanzeon did.
Alcatraz, or as I like to call it, Alcatrash. I've seen a few runners struggle with this, myself included, but it looks like they are both better than I am and just making their way out of there without any difficulty.
Actually, Stealinbread going here for some interesting mock balls in these early rooms that I did not really see many other runners do here. So it's nice to see that everyone has like their own little setup for stuff here, and especially in 100% where we even have like completely different routes, which only diverge like from like a few seconds. It's really interesting how to see that players choose their different styles in doing this run. Makes a lot of fun watching those races.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a lot of variation from our runners. I know Captain Duck, I believe it is, who has popularized his own route that we're calling the Duck route for now.
Yeah.
Banco has his own little variation. And we can see that Stealinbread, I mean, he's certainly practiced at this game. You can see just how he's optimized certain rooms with those mock balls and such that you were pointing out earlier.
Unfortunately missing the damage boost here, like only a minor time save, but still. Like this is the part where you really see that this is 100%, not any percent, getting these items that you usually never see. We're actually gonna see one of the hardest knock balls like in the entire route, which will be the reverse knock ball over this bridge here. I think Kanzeon got a good jump on that and actually nailing the reverse knock ball really nice. It only saves like about 8 seconds, I believe. And it's really hard to get if you like don't know how to set up the jump and how to buffer like the height that you get, but it's always really nice if you can nail that one. Also Stealinbread getting as well. Nice. Good job from both runners here.
Yeah, and that mock ball only saves about 8 seconds, but this is a speed run, so every second counts, and it's so great to see both of our runners going for those difficult strategies and getting them.
I totally agree here.
Another difficult strat, not so difficult actually, known as the Golden Mock Ball, named after an older speedrunner of this game who would frequently miss that mock ball.
Yeah. It's like one of the memeiest mock balls as well. Like Golden was one of the runners, like really early runners, like his any percent tutorial was something that many people learned this run with. Just a really old legend here, in a way.
It's actually still definitely a very viable resource, so if you're trying to learn any percent, check out Golden's tutorial.
Definitely, it's a very old, like, I don't want to say it's a very old route, but you can definitely get a really, really good time if you just stick to that tutorial. Like, there's not really a lot of reason to go for all like the new route first and learning all the hard stuff, but just getting used to these kind of easy strats and still getting a lot of time cut out, it's like really good. And also, if you just want to learn 100%, which is, in my opinion, way better category, there are also some great tutorials by many various runners explaining this route and many other tricks. Like it's really regardless of which category you decide for, this is a fun speed game.
Yeah,
Definitely
probably
one of the best ones out there.
Definitely one of the most popular ones too.
Yeah.
I think it's either this or Super Mario 64, most popular speed game.
Maybe Ocarina of Time as well, but yeah, it's like just from the prestige they also got like from all these marathons and events. It's like ridiculous how famous and how big our community is. Still a really nice community, I want to say. Definitely one of the most helpful and friendly and lovely communities out there.
I would agree with you.
So now, after the runners collected Spacer, we're gonna see both runners getting into crates there, opting for the first major boss crate, and we're hopefully gonna see a nice executed quick pull from both the runners here.
Yeah, Kanzeon missing the jump. You don't actually need high jump to get up there if you pull off the wall jump, as you can see Kanzeon doing there. It's going to cost him a little bit of time to set up that jump again. So, yeah, stealinbread going to be able to make up some time there too.
Both runners look on final health so far. stealinbread decides to farm these little enemies there for a little bit of extra ammo and health. Only not the worst move, especially if you're unconfident with dealing with the key hunters. More like missing the damage boost. Like, I've seen some runs dying to crate. Really unfortunate, but it happens. Both runners should be fine here. Kanzeon looks like he's setting up for the missile quick kill from his positioning.
I think he's a bit too far left to go for the missile quick kill,
Yeah.
and based on his strats,
going for the charge method here. So basically, by shooting really well done here by Kanzeon, by shooting a charge shot at crate, you basically lock his claw into position, which makes it a lot easier to shoot these supers at the right timing into crate's mouth. stealinbread going into the same setup and nails the quick kill just as well. Really well done here. Two really good quick kills here from both runners.
Yeah, both runners with sub 12 varia times. That's actually that's really impressive. This is a close race.
Definitely.
stealinbread, I really appreciate this. I appreciate when lesser runners without a tremendous PB go for these challenging strats. He was going for the mock ball out of the crate's lair there. And then going for a gap skip. Unfortunately, missed the gap skip, but then he would be able to deboost off the spikes in the ceiling afterwards, which is the fastest way to get through that room, but very precise and very challenging. So again, a good attempt by stealinbread.
Yeah, and also what I really like is both stealinbread and Kanzeon missed the initial wall jump out of that little pit under the key hunters. So they actually use the strat where you instantly morph out of the wall jump, which makes that even if you get hit, you still get that upward momentum to get out of that pit. You're maybe going to see that once more on Bubble Mountain, where they will have to fight against the final boss of the game, King Attack. But that's a really viable strat if you see that you're gonna get hit and still want to get enough height to get up like a cliff or a pit. So really nice to see both runners knowing off those kind of mini strats and saving a little bit of time there by that.
Yeah, my strat for if that happens, I usually just die.
That's a really good strat. I mean, you can reset and do a good run. It's like...
I sometimes reset too. I mean, it depends what I'm feeling on any given day.
Right.
We're going to see the two runners, oh man, narrowly avoiding a high five.
Yeah, stealinbread unfortunately missing the shot there on the little enemy. Was a little bit, like, his positioning, the timing of the shot was a little bit off, so since the door only opens if you beat one enemy in this room, and there's only one, you'll have to wait for that, and that's going to cost him like a few seconds. You usually don't want to miss that, but it happens sometimes if you don't get the jump right.
Do you happen to know the name for that enemy?
Oh, no, I don't. I'm still waiting for like an upgraded version of the Super Metroid Wikiverse, where it's like actually sorted by like descriptions. I can just search for little small red fire enemy and then I get the name, but it's gonna be a little bit complicated to program, I guess.
I'm always tempted to call them gamers, but I believe that one is called a Sova.
Yeah, I think there's like a little... I'm not even gonna pretend that I know Yeah, no worry. That's what's said in the chat, but okay. So now Kanzeon and Bubble Mountain opting to skip like a really annoying intended way there. By just doing a simple wall. Well, it's not that simple, but it's not that hard either. Getting up there, getting Speed Booster after that Wave Beam, the two items that make 100% viable for some tricks that you don't really see in a lot of other categories, which are really cool and which really add to the quality of the run.
Yeah, speed booster. I think you know what? I'm not even gonna say it.
Yeah, you don't even need to say it. I think everyone knows what you want to say. But go on. I can't get enough of hearing it.
Yeah, I bring the same jokes every time. Speed booster, good in this route because you need 100% of the items.
Oh, that's what you wanted to say? I thought
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know what you thought.
I thought you was want to say something like, "Oh, Speed Boost is a great item in a speed run because it makes you go fast."
Well, that might have been the case. Changed my mind at the last second there.
Whatever. I guess I can agree in any case. It's actually, yeah. And I think it's funny because many people are like I saw that like really happening. Many people are like adapting other people's commentary. Like many people took like the weird names of cross-product rooms, and like many people are referring to checking Tinder as soon as they're like in G4 or in
that is so
work
wonderful.
Yeah, like everyone is just picking like the best part from other people's commentary, and they're just making the same jokes over and over again. It's like hilarious. Yeah. So Kanzeon now picking up Wave Beam. Almost fell down there through combo blocks, but still making it with a jump out of there. I think both runners are going to do old route, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kanzeon does old route.
Yeah, I think so does stealinbread. So very soon, as soon as Kanzeon will re-arrive at Bubble Mountain, there will basically be two choices you have, which is either going down to Crocomire or not going down to Crocomire. Basically, not going down to Crocomire, if executed perfectly, saves you about 20 seconds, including some really, really hard tricks. Yeah, so it's a lot safer, especially like in these races and marathons, and as long as you're not aiming for world record times, to just do what Kanzeon just did, falling down there and just fighting off Crocomire right now, which will give you the awesome Grapple Beam, one of the best weapons in the game.
Yeah, Grapple Beam instantly killing certain enemies. Also, allows for some neat movement tricks.
Actually, Grapple Beam is like the item that kills like 99% of all enemies in Meridia, including the major boss with one hit. So it's really good weapon there.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could actually grapple Dragon to death when I was younger, and that boss gave me nightmares, let's say.
I just remember that when I found out, I thought it was the glitchy way, like the kind of unintended way. I never thought out that the developers actually thought about that, but that makes just perfect sense.
So Kanzeon here, he's fighting Crocomire, and he's actually having Crocomire is giving him the good RNG, not swiping at all. Also, he's attempting to fire the shot before Crocomire completely opens his mouth, and if he's able to do that, it'll cancel the animation, causing Crocomire to step back quicker.
Yeah. There's actually, I don't know if that's what you mean, but there's actually a move where you don't even actually need to hit Crocomire, and then he's just going to close his mouth immediately and then just step back once and then open his mouth again. It's like also something that happens sometimes. I don't really understand it, but yeah, there's Crocomire can be like kind of weird if he gives you bad RNG and only gives you swipes, wasting more and more time here. Run. So we're gonna see what stealinbread is gonna have for RNG, and if he's gonna get just as good a fight as Kanzeon had.
It looks like he's just he's opting for a little bit of a simpler opener, but not a bad move. And Kanzeon getting the charge and just shine sparking through the door there, nicely done. That's gonna save him a significant amount of time.
Yeah. In case you're wondering why that door was open, basically Kanzeon did a very like he aimed at a certain position at the right side of the room and was basically able to open the door on the left side by shooting the right side of the room. So that way was able to do that cool shine spark there all the way through the door. And we're gonna see that one more in this run, hopefully from both runners here. And that will look even more impressive because it's That's like one of the coolest Shine Spark in like all runs of this game.
Yeah, that one, the criteria wraparound shot, actually happens to be the longest shine spark in the route.
Yeah.
A very nice grapple
that's-
time. That
yeah.
1946 from Kanzeon. He's going to be going for the grapple missiles next, using the grapple beam. These grapples are super precise. Let's see if he gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. Wonderful. Many people prefer, like, actually, if you're uncomfortable with doing these grappled strats, just to prefer to like do a normal jump up there immediately before you actually get grapple. But getting that actually saves you quite a bit of time. Unfortunately, stealing red was a little bit too low there for the Shine Spark. It was like only one or few pixels. That's really unfortunate. But getting back up,
He's gonna have to jump again.
Yeah, it's gonna cost him some time, especially since
dear.
The good thing, however, is that he already did a bit of farming there, which will save him from having to farm later. So now we're gonna see like actually Kanzeon and stealinbread just missing each other here in this room. So Kanzeon now after
should be farming a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually, yeah, if I
one
were
super.
Yeah, one super.
That's like the thing.
That's really low, and he's gonna want to keep his health up going into wreck ship because a few runners have died in this tournament in wreck ship. I don't know about that, but I think it's certainly one of the most challenging sections in this entire route.
Getting 2 supers from the Cactech. That's really convenient that those are there because those Cactechs take like almost 100% chance of dropping supers, so that's like a really good source of those. So yeah, as you saw, stealinbread just did a Shine Spark up there to get these missiles since he seems to be not really comfortable with the grapple setup, and that's actually not that slow, even though it's still gonna lose you quite some time over your opponent. Yeah, at least he won't do this. You won't have to do that precise grapple setup anymore. Actually making a nice jump there, almost getting that mock ball out of there.
That mock ball, probably my favorite mock ball in the game, even though we don't see it a whole lot because it's actually faster to do the other way.
So now we're gonna see Kanzeon coming up on Alpha Spark, which has like kind of misleading name because it's like actually not really close to be the first Shine Spark in the game. Let's see if he nails it. Yep, perfect.
It would be the first Shine Spark in the route if he was doing new route, and it would also be the first Shine Spark in the game if he was doing any percent.
That is true.
Yeah, Kanzeon has a pretty significant lead over stealinbread at this point.
Yeah. Still, for Kanzeon now coming up, we have one of the most challenging parts in the game. One of the only parts where actually health management and dying is like a thing. So we'll see how Kanzeon handles with this really challenging part, wreck ship. So far, we're gonna pick up a few more items before that, and then there's gonna be the most RNG heavy boss in the game, and after that, it's gonna be really technical movement and a lot of health management for Kanzeon here.
Kanzeon getting nabbed by the Samus Eaters, or as we like to call them, he's getting vile plumed. Yeah, and I was chatting with Kanzeon earlier before the race, and he said he's going to go for the safe strats. He's going to play it super safe, but I really don't like his health going into wreck ship. I would be very apprehensive if I were him.
It will be kind of depending, like it will be heavily depending on his Fentoon fight. There are some ways where you could actually save some energy going there. Like we saw some runners before actually not doing like ocean fly or halfway ocean fly, but just using grapple all the way across till the wreck ship, which saves you a lot of time, but will also lose you. Which will save you a lot of health, but will also lose you quite a bit of time. So we'll see like how risky and how much health Kanzeon is actually going to lose here on the way to Fentoon and on Fentoon himself.
Yeah, my prediction here is he's going to forego Ocean Fly, and he will spark across the lake, but grapple across the moat in order to conserve energy.
Would actually predict the same. stealinbread going for a setup that I personally really like. Instead of doing like a strat like the hero shot, just deciding to going straight up, play a power bomb there, clearing some of the enemies, clearing the ceiling, and just having a really nice and easy time making that wall jump up red tower. Yeah, now we see Kanzeon collecting the moat missiles, using grapple beam across to conserve that little bit of energy. Actually falling down there, that's quite unfortunate. That's gonna cost him a lot of time, like relative to the route. Yeah.
Yeah, and stealinbread, he placed his power bomb just a little bit too early, and had to place another one to explode those power bomb blocks there. I did like that bouncy ball strat going into that room though. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So now we have Kanzeon at 170 energy. Should be alright. It's worse, but still gotta watch out for that Phantom fight. Especially, I don't know, do you know what setup he's gonna use? Is he gonna use Doppler or X Vectors?
I'm gonna guess X factors. That's what I've seen him do in the past. So you want your health to be significantly higher, but I think he'll be okay with 170. He's just got to play it super safe and take it really slow here.
Yeah, the thing with X Factor and low health is, if you have like really low health, if you have like maybe a bad fight or some bad patterns, having low health and actually like letting your reserve kick in while you want an X Factor connected can actually delay the timing of the X Factor, and that will massively screw you over. That happened to me quite a few times in fights, so that's something you definitely need to watch out if you have that low of energy, but hopefully you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to jinx Kanzeon with the old commentator's curse.
No commentator's curse, not today.
I'm curious to see if stealinbread is going to go for Ocean Fly here. Probably not. It looks like he's maybe not
going for grapple. Yeah. I mean, he has the health to do it, but I mean, I don't think that Ocean Fly is actually that much faster, if at all.
No, but it sure looks cooler.
Yeah, it definitely looks cooler, yeah. Also, Kanzeon getting a nice first X Factor, and even though it was a slow pattern here. So yeah, going to Shine Spark OSU here from stealinbread. It's not that bad to have that extra energy, like, for later on. And also getting that Shine Spark.
I think he got, Kanzeon. Sorry, Kanzeon got flame laid there by Phantoon, so one of the particles got cut off by Phantoon's flames there. Very unfortunate. There's not much you can do about that.
Luckily getting a mid, so can finish off with that last shard shot rather quickly. Still a really solid fight here from Kanzeon. Execution-wise, that was really good. Health-wise, he's only lost 30 energy in this fight, so really good. We're gonna see what drops he gets. So yeah, he's like 174, which is like not ideal, but it should be enough if you know how to deal with the rooms coming up, especially the spiky room of death. We had cross product in the previous race. Actually, getting to the E-Tank with only 5 HP left, that was quite a thrilling thing to see, so hopefully Kanzeon will do a little bit better here with conserving his health to the next upcoming E-Tank.
Yeah, Spiky Room of Death, pretty notorious for the spikes in the death. It's because the spike... We'll get to it, in the meantime, let's take a look at stealinbread's Phantoon fight.
If you want to play a game, you can guess a number between 1 and 10 and post it in the chat. If stealinbread will get a fast, you will get modded on speed gaming. If you get a slow, you will get banned forever.
Oh, it looks like the first pattern's a slow. Oh dear.
Yeah. Also, I think he's gonna go for the setup that I'm personally using, which will be having Spacer and Wave Beam all the time equipped while having power bombs. What that does is that allows you that you can do like a little pause buffer there, which you just did, and it will make the timing a lot easier for the X Factor. Unfortunately, jumping a little bit earlier, still not a big deal if he gets all the particles for the second X Factor instance. Charge Wave with Spacer deals significantly more damage than Charged Wave only without Spacer, so can still have potential for a 2-round here.
Definitely an old school strat, definitely getting some points for that one. Kanzeon going into the spiky room of death. He saved beforehand, which I really respect. Because these platforms, if they fall on you, they deal 100 damage, which will probably kill you. He could take 2 hits there if he needed to, but he didn't get hit once.
stealinbread finishing off with that 4-particle X Factor in the second round, so still making that 2-round really respectable fight here for stealinbread with that. I really like that setup. It may be old school and it's definitely not the fastest setup you have, but it's still a really safe setup. Kanzeon unfortunately falling down there. Losing a bit of time, but considering that he is like a really solid lead over his opponent and that he actually saved there, which you already said, that's like really respectable, especially in a race that you actually don't go all YOLO, but actually do some actual safety here. That's really respectable here, and got the E-Tank. So for now, and this will be probably the hardest part when it comes down to health management, because till he arrives at the direct shift, he wants to have about 300 energy if he doesn't want to go for the refill. So you'll have to be careful here, especially in the reverse spiky room of death and the attic coming up soon. Yeah, that was really good. Reverse spike room of death did not get hit a single time there.
Kanzeon going up to the attic right now.
There are a lot of cool strats to actually clear out the attic. The Shine Sparking strat Kanzeon just is personally one of my favorites. You can do a lot of stuff there. Like, none of the strats are like really easy. You can mess up that room a lot and make it like really slow, but what Kanzeon just did there was actually really fast. Now we have the work robot room that can really troll you, because sometimes the work robots don't let you really clip through them, but Kanzeon making a really nice first clip, finishing off the second work robot with missiles here, and stealinbread playing it really, really safe here, just as he should in a race, and taking his time getting through that spiky room of death without any problem. 218 energy left plus reserves. You shouldn't have any problem getting that retank, right? Oh, and Kanzeon, wonderful mockball, speedball strat there through the attic again. I love it.
I was pretty surprised that stealinbread didn't actually safety save before the spiky room, but I guess he's got to go all out if he wants to beat Kanzeon here. Every time save counts here.
Definitely.
So one of the strats that I have not actually seen in these races yet, in old 100%, well, in 100% back in the day, I guess what people would do is they would use the grapple beam here at this point and wreck ship and grapple the sparks, the exposed wires, and damage boost off of those to get into certain rooms. I haven't seen any runners do that. I'm waiting to see it happen though.
I've actually never even seen that.
Yeah, it's in a few of the old world record videos.
Oh, interesting.
I guess the timing is incredibly precise, but that's one of the very oft unseen uses of grapple beam.
There are definitely some good uses for that weapon. Yeah, as you said, unfortunately, it's not really used that much, especially since you have like very limited stuff you can actually do with it, apart from like one-shot killing like almost every Meridian enemy. But it's really important in like other routes, other categories like RBO. It's like a really important item. It's the item that makes it even possible, I want to say. So now, Kanzeon almost done with the wrecked ship cleanup, only gonna get one more missile and a reserve tank, and then there's only gravity suit left, and then he's pretty much done, opting to get to the next big area of the game, which will be Meridia. A lot of stuff to collect, some really technical stuff there, some really technical bosses, so let's see how the players do this area.
Have you ever forgotten that reserve tank in the wrecked ship there?
Actually not, but it happened to me, like, actually today I wasted a PB pace run because I did, like, fail the Shine Spark a few times up there, and then I did not have enough energy to continue, and especially since you cannot farm anything there, it's basically a rip run if you don't have enough energy to get all the way up there, which is kind of fortunate because it was a really good run, but I guess that happens sometimes.
Another reason you should watch your health in the wrecked ship.
Yeah, it's like a really crucial area for health management. Speaking about it, Kanzeon has 337 energy at this point plus reserve, so if he doesn't mess up the power bomb room and criteria, he should be fine to not take a refill at the ship to do the Gauntlet Spark, which will save him quite some time.
Yeah, he needs about 250 energy for that, so
yeah,
he'll be okay.
I just did a rough estimate on how far stealinbread is behind. He's currently about 2.5 minutes, a little less actually, behind Kanzeon. And considering that we're already more than half an hour into the run and that Kanzeon's PB is actually 8 minutes faster than stealinbread's, stealinbread actually made up quite some time here, which is really respectable.
Yeah, it's nice to see. So it looks like stealinbread, he's in the bowling room right now. This is a good chance to take a break. You know, do some things. It's like
checking Tinder, you mean?
Checking Tinder. Anyways, Kanzeon with the he's going for the wraparound shot right now. This is a pixel perfect shot, and you see him going for the setup there. Not
actually,
able to make it.
Yeah, he made the setup, but the thing is, I don't know, maybe he did like a little stutter there, falling down the little edge there, which kind of messed up the camera, but still getting it. Actually having like perfect health for the Gauntlet Spark here, like landing like almost where you want to land. That was like almost perfect health count here from Kanzeon, showing off how it has to be done. Getting now the E-Tank, and that's pretty much the part where you don't need to worry about health in this run anymore at all. So yeah.
Yeah, barring something crazy, his health is okay for the rest of the run.
Yeah. Especially entering Rinsa now, where you get like I want to say that's the area where most of the E-Tanks are actually. Like, it's ridiculous how much energy you get only from that area, and then coming up on like areas like Meridia and Lower Norfair, you usually never have health problems with if you do that route at least. We saw a route earlier which did like Brinster cleanup later, where health management was maybe a little bit more of a thing. But still, after the wrecked ship and after the Gauntlet Spark, you should be usually fine with health management. Also, stealinbread having a nice health count at this point. 357 should be good to not having to refill at the ship.
Yeah, honestly, with stealinbread, I haven't seen a lot of his runs. He might be tempted to stop at the ship anyways, just to play it safe, which is something that I am not opposed to, just to make sure that he's gotten 100% of the items so far.
That's another thing. It's not only about the health count, but getting that refill and knowing how much stuff you usually have at this point. If you have the refill, it will automatically show you your maximum amount of missiles, supers, and power bombs. So if you missed an item at that point, you will probably know, and that's also a thing that really helps with getting that refill. And seeing stealinbread actually going for it, having 95 missiles, 15 supers, and 15 power bombs, which is like the usual you have at this point with this route. There are some slight deviations, like Crossbar gets like 1 extra missile just because he wants the Idakun power bomb to be like the 50% for some reason.
Kanzeon. Oh my goodness. Sorry to cut you off, but he just, going into the damage boost tutorial room there, he fell through the pit, and that's going to cost him about a minute. So stealinbread can really make up time here. Expressing his frustration in his chat.
Well, that sucks. That indeed sucks. That's something you usually don't want to miss, and everyone who runs this game 100% knows how much it sucks to fall down like at this spot or like at GT. That's got so much time, it's just so annoying. But yeah, he'll be fine as long as he... Like, that happened to me actually. I fell down GT and I forgot about it, like for some reason. But whatever. See stealinbread also getting like really good Gauntlet Spark here. Nice that both players actually get it. Now Kanzeon is fine getting that energy tank. Nice to see.
How mad do you think he'd be if he missed it the second time?
Well, I can tell you from my own experience, really mad. It's like the worst thing because you feel like incredibly stupid for doing the same stupid mistake twice.
Yeah, I think we actually saw a runner the other day missing which one is it? The GT missiles twice and still pulling off a 122. So it can be incredibly frustrating, but it doesn't completely destroy the run because you can see Kanzeon still has a very sizable lead.
Yeah. Still, it's going to be a massive time save for stealinbread if he actually gets that first try. And there's still some other stuff you can fall down, like GT or Mickey Mouse missiles, so definitely this race is not over for Stealing Bread. He has like a lot of time to save yet, but still a lot of opportunities for that as well. Opening that G4 door now. Actually missing that super there. So now Kanzeon coming up on power bombs. There is a trick you can do where you actually quick drop through the floor there through a crumble block. He doesn't seem to even want to go for it, but you basically don't have to go the lower route, but you can basically just jump up there again. Saves a little bit of time, also on like the upcoming stuff. Yeah. If you don't want to go for it, it's like definitely good if you just straight up go for opening that gate, knowing you set up all right, and that's it.
Yeah, we call it, if you get the if you manage to get the quick drop and jump back up, we call that one the Mission Impossible.
Yo, and stealinbread just got over the trap of that room, so that's gonna be a time save for him. Also, Kanzeon just showed us how to skip the out of bounds boss, the Spore Spawn, which is unfortunately banned because, again, it's out of bounds and this is a no major glitch run, so it would be kind of not allowed.
Yeah, we haven't seen any runners do that. I think we've seen a couple, but yeah, we don't talk about that.
Well, I heard about some runners actually planning to do like a Spore Spawn on their very last races, just because, like, for fun, to actually show that off. You could argue about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I haven't fought Spore Spawn in probably over a year.
I gotta admit, I only fight him in puzzles usually, but not really in any category. Like, or did you use to run Spore Spawn RTA?
No. Whenever I played this game casually. When's the Spore Spawn RTA tournament?
Yeah, right. That's gonna be right after the RBO tournament.
I can't wait.
So now we got stealinbread actually reaching Big Pinker with a nice little speedball there, just swag. What Kanzeon is almost done with the Big Pink cleanup here. So both runners actually not that far apart, even though there's still quite a time difference in both runs. Let's see. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this segment after they've picked up the Spore Spawn supers. They just make their way into Meridia, just do some more cleanup. It's nothing really super interesting about this segment, I don't think.
Yeah, there's like just a lot of cleanup, nothing really technical. There's some minor optimizations, like you just saw Kanzeon in the Green Hill area there. He laid a power bomb there right at the top to be actually able to open that door up there for later. This is a really interesting trick though. We've got Blockbuster here. Unfortunately, Kanzeon doesn't get it. Really hard trick to actually nail, but always cool if you actually see runners getting it.
Yeah, that room right there, we didn't talk about it the first time that we went through, but that's probably one of my favorite rooms, known as the Noob Bridge, because it requires the runners to hold run as they run across the bridge, otherwise you fall through.
Yeah, I remember when like one of my first playthroughs, it was like, I think that was actually when I was about to start speedrunning this game. It was like, I didn't play that game in so long, and was like, okay, how the hell do I get, like, I'm stuck here, and I googled for it and was like, okay, that's the new bridge. Yeah, I'm so stupid. Also, Kanzeon going here for a stutter free tap to get the Meridia Main Street missiles. Saves quite a bit of time over going up there and only doing like a 2-tap, but it's also way more precise. It's really hard to nail. Actually getting it like 5th try or so. Still not bad. As I said, that nailing that stutter free tap is like really hard.
It's super precise. I'm always just obligated to jump up top there and charge up there because it's so much more consistent.
which is also not that bad, especially if you need multiple tries for the stutter free tap. It may as well be just a lot faster to just go up there right away with like a wall jump into that main street room. Yeah. Now we have Mama Turtle, one of the best animals in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is the only animal that gets a pass in my book.
Okay. So, stealinbread still only being about 2.5 minutes behind at this point, even though we're already halfway into the run. Or halfway done, I want to say. Still considering that stealinbread's PB is actually 8 minutes slower than Kanzeon, still really respectable how well he can keep up with his opponent at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, the run is certainly not even close to over. Kanzeon has a sizable lead, but there's so many points that stealinbread can make that up.
Especially once we got like really cool items like Space Jump and Spling Ball. We're seeing some really technical tricks coming up here. Some stuff that is really hard to optimize and some really hard tricks, but we're going to see which of those the runners are actually going to nail and which one not. stealinbread going for another mock ball of the Mood Bridge. Really interesting stats here. First, Kanzeon missing the Shine Spark up there. That happens. Doesn't lose, like, almost nothing. Yeah, you can see stealinbread actually getting up there, even opening the door to get like all the space he has to get that Shine Spark, nailing it first try. That's really easy but really consistent setup that will definitely save you a lot of time over having to attempt the stutter free tap multiple times down there.
Yeah, that's the one that I do. Also, you can line yourself up with that bush on the floor there, and that'll send you straight up into the missiles.
Yep. So since Kanzeon now cleared up the beach, the Marie Beach, for him we're gonna see a somewhat interesting mini-boss soon, which will be the master of the magic hitbox himself, Batoon. Basically, the ideal strategy, you want to open up with an X Factor that you time with an audio cue in his music, and then just pump a shit ton of supers into his head, and then hope that he dies within round. And even if you're not consistent with like one rounding Batoon, since this is 100%, you usually have like above 15 supers at this point. You can just spam them, and you'll make pretty quick job out of Batoon, regardless if you're like really good with this fight or not that skilled.
Yeah, a one-round Batoon, certainly very impressive, but super hard to pull off.
Yeah.
It looks like Kanzeon missed a few of the X Factor particles, so he's not going to be able to make a one-round Batoon. Also, the boss giving him a little bit of grief with his patterns there. Batoon can be pretty RNG dependent.
I think Kanzeon even had like a little bit of luck there. I think he didn't actually get a single of the X Factor particles, but the thing with those is that as long as X Factor particles are there or loaded, you're not able to shoot any other weapon or any other beam. So since all of the shots actually connected, even though they weren't actually dealing damage, this was pretty good for him, because if they were just flying around, this could have actually took a lot longer. Unfortunately, Goop sparking there while going for the halfie.
Yeah, that's one of the more challenging tricks in the run, the halfie. You want to Shine Spark across the Coliseum. It saves you about 6 seconds, 12 if you do it optimally, but again, he's still got a fairly sizable lead over stealinbread. I think we'll see stealinbread going for the halfie as well, though.
Hopefully he's gonna get it. I'd like to see some halfie here. We actually had a full halfie last run here, so even if you're like not a top tier runner, you can just go for the halfie, which is like way more gettable, I want to say, and then see where that gets. And like sometimes you may even end up with a full halfie, even though it's like really hard to get. But the wall jumps are really precise. The latch grab is like ideal, even though not required, and it's like generally like really precise movement there. So now Kanzeon on the shrimp, as we like to call it. You know Kanzeon better. Do you know what his setup will be?
Yeah, I think he's probably going to opt for the Shine Spark setup for this this boss. So Dragon, the only boss that can actually be damaged by Shine Sparking, it requires a pretty well-timed short charge in this room. Oh yeah, and he's going for the X Factor. Oh,
I love that setup. It's so interesting to watch how the X Factor particle manipulation works.
Yeah, and the reason that you want to kill Dragon with the Shine Sparks is because, and hopefully we'll see this from Kanzeon, is if you kill her with the Shine Spark, it'll freeze Samus in position, but it won't like lock her speed. So it'll freeze Samus, excuse me, in a blue suit, which Kanzeon unfortunately just barely misses.
Yep.
But that would have allowed him to store Shine Spark up through the Coliseum and get what we call the reverse halfie. Saves you a significant amount of time.
Yeah, not only that, but also like if you are really, really consistent with the Shine Spark method, and you can actually nail these Shine Sparks pretty well. Like, there is an optimal setup for like going right through Dragon's Eye. You can actually do like a free round, I think, with only Shine Sparks. So that also saves a lot of time. Yeah, like gonna see. There's an alternative setup that's like pretty much hundo only. You can just grill the shrimp by getting grabbed and attaching to one of the electric fields, which is why it's like basically the only boss that can be one shot with grapple beam. It's like a really cool setup, especially if you're not really familiar with the Shine Spark setup, and it's not that slow either, even though you don't have any chance for blue suit, and it's still a really cool thing to do. So yeah, now stealinbread, unfortunately, no chance to go for halfie because he bonks against the door.
Yeah, and he had a pretty good boss in there too. I believe it was a 2-round, even though he opted not to go for the X Factors, which is fine. I mean, you got to do what's consistent in a race, as I always say.
And you have so many supers, it's like nothing you should need to worry about. Looking for some really nice damage boosts here over the Coliseum. I did that room really, really fast.
Yeah, it's the fastest you can do that without doing the halfie, so it's actually pretty nicely done. A very nice recovery from stealinbread.
I wonder if there's any speedrunners actually using the intended way of using stupid grapple beam in that room.
I haven't seen it yet, actually.
Like this is actually one of the hardest rooms for casual players, I believe, because like with all the floating sand, and like usually you're not as good as wall jumping as a casual player. Like getting those getting up there with only grapple beam may be kind of hard, especially on that last block, last pillar where you have like that little edge with only that one grapple block. Maybe pretty hard. Also, we see stealinbread charging up some Shine Sparks. So may see a Shine Spark setup for him as well here, while Kanzeon is about to get Spling Ball and visit our good friend Shaq Tool here in just a second.
Yeah, the Shaq Tool room, probably my favorite room. Well, I'd say it's probably my second favorite room in the game. This room gives you just... there's a lot of variation in the strats you can do here. I know that Cephalon is very fond of checking his MySpace, but personally I'm very fond of checking my Tinder in this room.
Well, I personally like to solve my Rubik's Cube with my feet in that room, but I guess that's kind of preference. Like there are a few milliseconds difference in the strats, but that's really only marginal. Also, stealinbread apparently only opened up with the Shine Spark and then finishing off with the deep fried shrimp method, which I really like because there is deep fried shrimp at the end.
Yeah, also, like I said, second fastest method of killing Dragon. Not too much time difference in actually doing that strat. The major difference comes in getting the blue suit glitch after the fact.
Yeah, there's a really precise space jump trick that's stealinbread can do now. I forgot the name already, but basically you get like pretty high momentum getting back over the Coliseum again. But getting that space jump with the time is kind of hard.
Yeah, I believe that one's called the Womple Jump. I'm not quite sure why.
Jump. Yeah, it is the Womple Jump. Unfortunately, it doesn't really get it. Hopefully, yeah, it's kind of momentum. So, Kanzeon did not kill Shaq Tool, right? On the way in?
He did not kill Shaq Tool.
Okay, so we'll see if stealinbread is actually going to kill Shaq Tool later in the run. We saw actually run before the race before Crossbody actually finishing him twice. Just on the way
not
back.
A bad move. Sending him. It's not about going fast. It's about sending a message.
All right. Uh, so stealinbread also deciding to pick up that E-tank now.
It looks
but
like he
then
went for it, but just
falls
missed it.
down. Yeah,
He should be able to get it on his way back though, so it's not actually a time loss.
and his health is not really that bad. Like, usually it's about preference and about the amount of health you have at this point if you get the E-tank early or late, but at this point, stealinbread is pretty fine getting it just later. Meanwhile, Kanzeon is about to pick up the most powerful, well, in damage numbers weapons in the game, like apart from screw attack, obviously. The plasma beam, which will basically just allow you to melt every enemy that runs across you, including our good friend Crocomire, which unfortunately won't be able to see the Crocomire plasma kill, which is a lot of fun. Like, the most fun part about New Route, I believe. I want to say that. Being able to one-shot Crocomire.
I think Ice Clip is more fun.
Yeah, of course. I knew you would say that.
Personally, have never been able to pull off Ice Clip. Every time you fail, it costs you 20 seconds. So that's why we see our runners not doing the new route. I think.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, you should never expect something like a free PB if you switch to new route. Just the same for any percent. There's a reason that people did like this old route for so long.
So Kanzeon's coming up on Kakatak Alley here. This room, if he gets it right, it looks really, really cool. Let's see how he does.
Man, unfortunately, bonks against that one pillar there. Still not
Not
that
a big deal. Getting the jump between those two Kakataks there still looks pretty impressive. Pretty slick.
Also, Kanzeon getting some really nice trick drops here through the floating sand, saving quite a bit of time over having to wait all the way till you actually float down. The reason why that works is during the turnaround animation of Samus, the game does not stop Samus from actually, she doesn't get stopped by the floating sand, but she rather just falls all the way through, which is why you always want to like turn around just right before you enter it, which will save you a significant amount of time over the course of the run, especially in Murdia where you have like all those floating sand pits. Same goes for crumble blocks, by the way, which we'll see runners also do at quite some points. Just some minor things that add up really quickly. It's like the big brother of arm pumping, I want to say. Just something that alone doesn't save a lot of time, but added up, like, definitely saves, I want to say, like, at least half a minute or so. Maybe more.
I've heard varying statistics on it. I've heard people say anywhere between 6 seconds and 30 seconds. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's a free time save. You might as well, right?
Yeah, right. There's only one part where it's, like, actually really dangerous to do, like, these quick drops, especially for crumble blocks, but, yeah. There's really no point in not doing it. As I said, just as arm pump. You just do it on the fly. We'll save you a few frames here and there, and then it just adds up. Also, both runners not killing Shacktool, so...
Very disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. So, Kanzeon, now that he cleared the next sand pit, done with his Meridic cleanup, now opting for second last area of the game, Lower Norfair, which includes some minor item collection. Actually, there are not that many items, but a really easy mini boss and a kind of annoying major boss. So,
I believe kind of annoying is an understatement.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, he's not as annoying as in any percent who is actually like a threat. It's just that really control you just by giving you like bad patterns and behaving weird and just making the fight slow. Also, Kanzeon deciding to picking up the crate missiles now. Doesn't really matter when you pick them up as long as you have speed booster and a fast way to kill the pirates on the way. So that's really just preference. I think most people actually collect it right now, just like Kanzeon did.
Yeah, just I've seen a couple runners, Banco, the one that I'm going to call out because he's the first person that I saw do this. He actually picks this up after his first trip into Norfair. along with a Kraid energy tank, so that he not only has full missiles going into, or excuse me, full energy going into wrecked ship, but he also doesn't have an opportunity to miss that missile tank.
Yeah, we actually saw that last race Banker doing that. It was like it's really interesting, and seeing like that sometimes you actually have some health problems getting into the wrecked ship area. It's like really nice to have that little buffer there, especially since you don't need to farm getting out of Croc's area. So that's kind of something you need to consider if you have like problems getting your health management right, if you may not adapt that like slight route change. But then again, if you have like health problems after Kraid, which can also might as well happen, it's all just preference.
Kanzeon heading towards the ice beam. So yeah, stealinbread making his way out of Meridia. I'd say Meridia is probably my least favorite segment of the game because it's just like not interesting, and the music is so depressing, and you're trapped there for so long.
Yeah, it's like really different from all other areas, and also it's like when it comes down to how technical the area is, it's also becoming like really interesting. There's like of course a lot of movement optimization with few like really hard tricks, but if you compare it to like a Brinstar, it's like completely different from from the level of how technical it is. Also, stealinbread having like a little problem with the crumble blocks there, getting those two items. Well, Kanzeon now finally heading to Lower Norfair, heading to one of the best themes in the game, in my opinion. It's often reused in the series, actually, the Lower Norfair theme.
Yeah, I believe they used it for Magmore Caverns in Metroid Prime. Another really well-designed area.
Yeah.
Oh, and he gets the chronic boost. That's so cool. Nicely done, Kanzeon.
That is a wonderful damage boost right there. Looks really cool. Actually saves also quite a bit of time there, I think. Because it's really hard to get momentum down there in the lava dive room if you do it like without the damage boost. So let's see how far stealinbread is actually behind.
I would say about 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes at this point.
Just remember the time. I'm gonna give you an update on that in just a few seconds. Alright, he also has to collect the great missiles at this point.
Kanzeon entering the lavatory. He's going to be draining the acid from this room, and I suppose you could say flushing it.
I know that Crossberg would say that. Yeah, he calls it the esophagus, if I'm pronouncing it correct.
Esophagus.
Esophagus, yeah.
Kanzeon's got to be careful going into this next room because these crumble blocks here, if he falls through, it costs him about a minute to a minute and a half, I think. And he just morphs and holds A. He's not going to miss that. No worries.
I actually did a PB run yesterday. I PB'd by 4 seconds because I fell down that stupid crumble blocks twice. It was not fun.
That's very
still PB'd by 4 seconds. Really, really cool.
Big time save for your next one. Don't worry.
Yeah, right? So now, stealinbread also arrives in Upper Norfair again. In the meantime, Kanzeon making like a pretty quick worry out of GT. Just gonna stand there and like certain spot of his foot, or if you line up with a pillar in a certain way. And you can just shoot up while crouching, hitting 2 times per shot, and it's just nothing.
Kanzeon opting for the fast pillars setup. He's wanting to charge a Shine Spark in this room here. It's the fastest way to get to the next room, but I opted to just screw attack through those pillars.
Yeah, also stealinbread about a little less than 3.5 minutes behind at this point, which is really respectable considering how far we are actually into the run and how far off the PBs of the two runners are. Also, stealinbread having way less problems getting that missile under the ice area than Kanzeon did, so that's actually a big time save for him at this point.
Yeah, Kanzeon making his way out of what's known as the worst room in the game. It's not so bad in 100%, but in any percent, it is actually the worst room in the game.
Yeah.
He's picking up the Mickey Mouse missiles. Oh, and stealinbread accidentally stopping by the Nutella refill station, as we like to call it. Accidentally costing himself a couple seconds by refilling his energy, which he doesn't need to do.
Also, Kanzeon accidentally breaking out a spin there in that room, falling down all the way without costing quite some seconds there, getting up there again. Kind of unfortunate, but sometimes happens that Samus like seems to randomly break out a spin if you do like just one bad move. It's basically it in such a room. But good thing that we have space jump and screw attack, which conveniently enough deals like I think 2,000 damage per frame, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's something exorbitant like that.
It's like funny how much it is.
Yeah, and you'll see actually Kanzeon opting to kill those key hunters. That actually, when he drops the power bomb later, it actually saves him a few frames of lag if those key hunters are not there. So that going out of his way to screw attack the key hunters, actually not a bad decision. It saves you time in the long run. Stealinbread making his way through the lavatory while Kanzeon dispatches the ninja metal pirate things. I'm actually not quite sure of the name of them.
They're probably the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm not sure.
Right, yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's what they were.
Also, stealinbread getting those missiles without dropping down. So that's something that you usually don't want to do, but good thing that neither of runners did that mistake. So Kanzeon now on really annoying boss, Ridley. Can give you really good patterns, which usually never happens, or like really shitty patterns, which like always happens. You just want to get 20 shard shots in, or 30 supers, or a mix of that, like as quick as possible, and then somewhat want to jump into his claw. It's really hard fight to optimize. Like I hear stories from Tassos that they're like always like not really happy with how they Ridley type fights turn out, but it's just horrible to optimize. And it's actually one of the bosses that we know least of when it comes down to enemy manipulation. So now Kanzeon just waiting there to being picked up by Ridley. Actually hitting him a few times before he actually decides to grab him and explode. So yeah, it's also a little time lost there.
Yeah, Ridley super irritating with his patterns. If he doesn't pick you up right away, it can be incredibly frustrating.
Do you see that? Isn't that the Metroid tank? Why is that empty? Where's the Metroid?
Oh, geez, I don't know, man. Where did the Metroid go? Maybe we'll see it later.
Huh.
Probably not. It's
Maybe
probably
there were
dead, right?
2 Metroids in stealinbread stream, but we'll see.
Oh, jeez. Stealinbread picking up the Mickey Mouse missiles.
Last chance to do a stupid mistake and drop down somewhere, but you should be fine. Yep, gets out there, no problem. Now
No commentators curse today. Nicely done.
Right? It's like those time saves that like it's like super normal if that happens every once in a while, but it's still, as a runner, you're like really annoyed by such things happening because it's like something very marginal that's wastes like a minute or so. Actually, that one not that much because you only have to go like through the worst room and then you're pretty much there again, but it's still something you don't want to do in a run.
Yeah, only having to go through the worst room again.
Little high five here. in Key Hunter. What's it called? Key Hunter Shaft? Main Key Hunter Shaft, something like that.
This is one of the room names I'm not familiar with.
I think it's Red Key Hunter Shaft, but I'm not sure. I only know the other Key Hunter room, which is like 3 Musketeers. That's easy to remember. So now, stealinbread collecting the power bombs of shame. Not ashamed to collect them 100% since they're actually required to finish the game 100%.
Yeah, it would be much more shameful to miss them in this run.
That is correct. Well, you could do space-time beam, but then again, we have the problem with the NMG tournament.
Yeah, it wouldn't be no major glitches at that point. stealinbread dispatching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles while Kanzeon makes his way through some lower Norfair cleanup.
Actually, gonna collect the second last item here. There's only gonna one more item left in lower Norfair here for Kanzeon, and we all know what that item is called.
What's it called, Punk?
Well, just wait and you'll see. Also, stealinbread deciding to go for super missiles here with Ridley. Deciding to save some, as it seems, which makes a lot of sense since you don't really get a lot of super refill Silturian if you need kind of that. Okay, so that's obviously the Franker Z missiles. So
get your Franker Z's ready, boys and girls.
Where's my Franker Z? There's my Franker Z. There we go.
Yeah, so not a bad fight from stealinbread. So
Yeah,
super missiles, I think, are actually just they're faster if you manage to connect with all of them, but because you have the potential to miss, and because your super missile count is limited, it can be a little more frustrating.
But what stealinbread did there was actually pretty good. Just starting off with few supers, getting good connects, and then just continuing a charge shot, saving a few Futurian. Was a really decent fight here from stealinbread.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to be said for this segment of the game either. There's just some minor movement optimizations. Once we get back into Retro Brinstall, we'll see a little bit more exciting stuff. But as Kanzeon makes his way out of Lower Norfair, and same with stealinbread, there's not too much to be said for that.
Yep.
Kanzeon picking up the Bubble Mountain missiles.
Actually, the last item in Upper Norfair that you will get, and conveniently enough, the item that I forget most 100%.
Yeah, I believe
because
it's so out of the way, right?
It's not even that. It's just you're up there and you're just so used from any percent that you just get down there and lay a power bomb and just run out of there. It's just like even in like randomizer, that's like usually an item that you don't even go for if it's just missiles because it's like not worth it. Yeah, now Kanzeon exiting Norfair. We'll be forever done with that area. Now we're gonna see him collecting. I want to say the only. I don't know. Is it even a major item? I guess you could call it one. The only last major item that is left, the X-ray scope, which usually helps people who don't know where items are finding items, which is pretty obsolete in 100% speedrun, but mostly just mess with your muscle memory in a way. Which is why I don't like it. I know Christoffel likes it a lot because, again, it shows you where items are. But
yeah, sometimes I forget, so I like to check where they are with X-ray.
Well, I mean, how do you want to check the Mama Turtle missiles with X-ray? I want to see that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like there are items. that are like impossible to find for casuals. Also, really nice power bomb there from Kanzeon, clearing out exactly one block row there.
Yeah, it was pretty precise. Nicely done. I don't know if that was intentional, but either way, pretty slick from Kanzeon.
Yep. Let's just call it intentional for now.
Yeah, definitely. One of the other uses of X-ray scope, check this out sometime if you get some time, everybody, allows you to clip through walls, which not really utilized in a no major glitches run, as it is considered a major glitch, but it's super cool, so check it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with X-ray. And also for stealinbread, we have the Kanzeon missiles, last item in Lower Norfair, so we're gonna see him do the Upper Norfair cleanup and then also opting for X-ray and the Metroid cleanup, which Kanzeon is gonna do in just a second after, of course, nailing Reverse Slinky.
Of course, we've seen it so many times this tournament.
Actually messing up that super easy trick. Like, how does he even dare? He should forfeit or reset or do whatever. But...
I mean, he's lost the respect of the community at this point. Everybody knows Reverse Slinky, easiest trick in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy that only 2 people ever got it, so it's like gifted. It's like the first trick you learn.
It goes Alcatraz, Reverse Slinky. That's the order you learn tricks, right?
Yeah, right.
So we can see Kanzeon making his way through Retro Brinstar, doing a little bit of cleanup here, and he'll be making his way towards the Billy Mays missiles.
Let's spare that for a second. What it's called Billy Mays missiles.
We'll build up the excitement, the tension. For just
right.
A minute.
Just we need some epic music for that. Guess Friesland could do something about that. So now, obviously, Kanzeon is running over an invisible bridge, and then there is this... Oh, it's just a missile. That's so disappointing. It's just this normal missile standing there.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, dang. Well, there is a second missile down there. That's incredible. How much is it with shipping?
Call now and receive some amount of missile packs.
But only if you order today. So yeah, now we only have like a very few items left here for Kanzeon. It's gonna go up now to Criteria again, getting one more super missile pack and the last missiles, which are actually called that because they're the last missiles you get in a 100% speedrun.
Yeah, very creative name, the last missiles. I'm actually surprised that the community came up with that. So yeah.
Kanzeon showing up like a little shine spark there, which will help him to get fast through the old Mother Brain room in the final time, while stealinbread just exited Upper Norfair, making his way to X-ray. Fortunately, Kanzeon missing a shine spark there, bonking it against the little corner there. Should still make pretty quick work out of that room with X-ray and his plasma beam.
Yeah, and he, again, has a fairly tremendous lead over stealinbread right now, so he should be okay.
Yeah. Like, at this point, Kanzeon should really just play solid, don't take too many risks, especially at the last, like, risk of screwing up a run, which will be at the final boss, Mother Brain. We'll talk about that later. So far, Kanzeon, having, like, with that solid lead, shouldn't have any problems. There should not be any big screw-ups coming up. Just playing solid here.
Yeah, Mother Brain, probably the last chance for the runners to make any grievous errors and lock the game, but I don't think we'll see anything crazy from either of these two runners. Kanzeon's pretty experienced. He's probably... Yeah, he'll be okay. I hope.
Let's hope that commentator curse doesn't cure like in the very last minute of the race.
Yeah, I really hope I didn't just destroy Kanzeon's run. So now we see Kanzeon picking up the last missiles, also sometimes known as the cavity missiles, because once you pick them up, you have two Hurdy missiles.
actually showing the genius of single individuals of this community, I want to
Yeah,
say.
I have to see single individuals, not the community at large there.
Yeah. I mean, that's also something. The point there is these tiny individuals coming up with these names. We see the first face palms in the chat already. Yeah. Now Kanzeon making his way to the Golden 4 statue. Do you want to say anything about the Golden 4 room?
I do actually, yeah. The Golden 4 room, probably my favorite room in the game. There's a lot of different variations in this or in this room. My personal favorite, well, I'm not going to talk about my favorite. I think you guys already know, but Kanzeon actually opting to go for the infinite bomb jump. I like to, I've gotten a lot of Tinder matches in this room, so it's pretty near and dear to my heart.
Actually, nice IBJing there with like the fast method of, like there is the slow method where you can just lay them like next to each other, like only like, about a few pixels higher each time. This method where you like basically just take the whole distance of the jump is like a really cool setup. Also, stealinbread going for the Shine Spark method, getting up there to the Billy Mace missiles, which is like a little bit slower, but if you're like inconsistent with like how to get through those blocks with the screw attack, very good option for you. Like, it can be kind of tricky sometimes because like the wall jumping animations sometimes interrupt the screw attack, and then it's kind of like hard to get through there, but you can mess around with that a little bit and you should be fine. Tinder matched Chris with Dragon confirmed.
I swiped left on Dragon, just for the record.
Okay. So now Kanzeon on the Metroid rooms, actually incredible hard rooms to optimize, but Sulfur does a really good job here. Really nice strat to collect these Metroids on yourself. So far, really good. Like, those rooms are actually really hard to do optimized, especially since with all the item switching you have to do between your normal shots and the ice beam, the normal shots and super missiles, this can actually be really hard and takes a lot of practice to do it as solid as Kanzeon is just showing it off.
Yeah, these rooms are pretty unassuming, but when you see a pro do them, they make it look easy. Those rooms, very challenging.
Yeah, speaking about challenging, Kanzeon now coming up on the Metroid skip, something that even pros fail in their runs every once in a while, and it's definitely a hard trick, hard to get really consistent at, but yeah, we're just gonna see how Kanzeon does with that. Hopefully he'll get it.
Yeah, the Metroid skip, if you're able to skip this cutscene, it does save you about 20 seconds.
Kanzeon choosing the method to shoot the enemies at the ceiling to create some extra lag. That lag actually helps a lot judging like on the timing of the jumps. Unfortunately, Kanzeon missing the final jump there. Got a really good setup though. Like the first two jumps were like really perfect. Personally, have my problems myself with the last jump, but really solid try here from Kanzeon. And the best thing is he faced right, so that will save him about 40 frames in total over facing left. So it's like the most important thing.
Yeah, very nicely done by Kanzeon. Facing right, that is.
Yep, right. Also deciding to not go for the Crystal Crash here, but to just rather use the healing station, which is at this point in this race a wise decision considering that he still has white lead. stealinbread just collecting the final missiles, while Kanzeon is pretty much already done with Turian. Just gonna go to the final boss here, Mother Brain.
Yeah, a couple major tricks left from Kanzeon. He's going to be going for the Zebutite skip right now. Should be easy to just clip right through here, using some interesting properties of frozen enemies.
Yeah. Actually not as useful as in any percent, since you have that many missiles, but it's pretty much free once you understood how like the basic movement mechanic works you have to do. There are other tricks you can do, where you actually don't even need to de-equip Screw Attack, but this is a really convenient, really easy, and really consistent strat. Kanzeon just showed off, and he got it really fast, so that's all that matters. Kanzeon shooting his missiles here, maybe setting up for a secret number he want to show off later on, you know. So Mother Brain, especially Mother Brain 1, really disappointing final boss. only takes 20 sharp shots, which is like nothing. You can get like 6 of those in without her even attacking you. It's like not really that hard of a boss. What's gonna be way more interesting is what's gonna happen after the first phase of the boss, after the first 20 hits. You can see Kanzeon running into Mother Brain here, getting himself down to a little bit more over 700 health, which will set him up for a glitch called the stand-up glitch, and so you're gonna see what that does in just a second. So after the rainbow beam connects, you're usually not supposed to stand up again. Basically what that does is allows you to damage Mother Brain's third phase before you're actually supposed to start it. And you can basically kill her before like the actual fight even begins. There is however some soft block potential and some like big lag potential, but if Kanzeon just executes it well and plays safe, he shouldn't have to deal with any of those.
Yeah, it looks like he nails the stand-up glitch. No problems there, and provided he doesn't soft lock here, it should be his race.
Yeah, you can still make... Like, the only thing that can still happen is make the Metroid either stuck in the ceiling or shooting a shot at a very certain timing, which will make the game lag massively, which can cause, like, uncontrollable lag for, like, up to, like, half an hour or so, I think. Which could still cost him the victory, but he should be fine. And meanwhile, stealinbread making a really good job with those first 2 Metroid rooms.
Yeah, I mean,
really nice setup here.
I've been really impressed with stealinbread.
Yeah. Also, we can see on stealinbread's page on stream that he has 230 missiles at this point, and since it's unlikely that he forget anything else than missiles, he should be pretty much fine with 100%. And of course, Kanzeon set himself up that way that he has 69 missiles at this point. And really nice stand-up glitch here, only needs a few more Hyper Beam shots to finish off Mother Brain. stealinbread not going for Baby Skip, but rather decides to damage himself down so that the drowning animation will take less long. So now, for Kanzeon, it's pretty much almost GG, only the escape left. He may still be disqualified if he decides to not save the animals and get the bad ending, but hopefully he does the wise choice and do the right thing.
I hope.
By the way, stealinbread facing right, saving those 40 frames.
Oh, please.
That's really important.
Killing me. The animals need to die. Like, I hate to say it, but
that's not 100%. Like, you're missing. You're actively missing a part of the game.
Okay.
That's not how 100% works, man.
Well, 100% works because you kill the animals. It's part of it.
No, it's not. You're gonna save them. Otherwise, you won't get the tiny pink pixel, and it's also something, right?
I mean, it's not, and you're wrong, but we can agree to disagree. We'll see what happens. Kanzeon's probably gonna make the right choice in not saving the animals.
So we have some kill the animals in the chat and one ban the commentators, which
I think that's more appropriate.
So yeah, Kanzeon deciding to skip the animals.
Wise choice.
Finishing up, yeah, officially done in the SRL race channel. Finishing first place here with really solid time of 1:27.36. So GG to Kanzeon, just gotta wait for 100%, which I'm sure he got. And we're just gonna watch stealinbread finishing off this Mother Brain fight. We're gonna see how that goes. I think he should go for the stand-up glitch. Let's see how that works out for him. This is so bad of a final boss fight. She just did 2 attacks. Okay, 3 now, and she's dead. This is ridiculous. I like the lore of Mother Brain, but she's like not really. I don't know.
Yeah, she's not very imposing in 100%. stealinbread, he also was not above 700 energy, so he's not going to be able to get the stand-up glitch.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. He probably went for it, but I mean, he was at 696, I think. So that was kind of unfortunate. Could have even went for reserve tanks. Might have actually been a little faster, just refilling a little bit of health. But yeah, no stand-up good for him. The most important part though is that he generally de-equipped various suit, which will save him a lot of rainbow beams and a lot of time. So yeah, now we just gotta watch that nice cutscene.
So we got some more races coming up today, I believe.
We do.
If you'll stick around on the... Actually, I don't know. Are these on the Speed Gaming channel?
I think all of them are, yeah. Yeah, we have...
it looks like it is. At 8:30, we have White Mage Becky versus Shokushu. That's in half an hour. That's being commentated by my good friend Cephalon. And at 11 p.m., we have Rankdud versus Wild Anaconda. That's going to be a blast, so stay tuned on the Speed Gaming channel. Stick around for those races.
Actually, well, yeah, that's... Both of these races are going to be really interesting. There'll be some really top-tier players and some top-tier trolls in there. Also, yeah, another Team Deerforest match with White Mage Becky and Shokushu. You're gonna do commentary on the 11 p.m. match together with Saburov, so if you like my co-commentator, or co-commentator sounds great. If you like the other guy on the line, Christofalo, then you should definitely watch that for some more godlike commentary about Tinder and going fast with Speed Booster.
Yeah, stay tuned for more Tinder jokes. The same jokes coming up in 2.5 hours, everybody.
You can
3
never
hours,
get
my mistake. I have a math degree. I can do math.
Oh yeah, so now I've got Deal Force and that. There you go, that's the Deal Force. And we have 100% confirmed for Kanzeon, GG. And that's the official victory for him. And still, I gotta really say, for the fact that stealinbread's PB is so much behind Kanzeon's PB, only being about 5 minutes behind in such a race is like really, really good for him. Like, stealinbread did an incredible job in keeping up with the pace of Kanzeon here, even though there was quite a difference in the practice of the two runners. So really, really good job here from stealinbread, especially. Still, Kanzeon made an incredible run.
I don't think Kanzeon's too pleased with that. Kanzeon, ever since he hit that 124, he's been holding himself to a very high standard ever since.
stealinbread actually going for Behemoth Spark, unfortunately misses it. So we're gonna see if stealinbread does the right choice in getting a good ending and saving the animals.
The good ending is when the animals die, Bonk.
You're wrong. You don't know how that works. Okay. Yep, just jumping over
the good
them.
ending coming up from stealinbread. Stay tuned for that, everybody.
Okay, so stealinbread has also done with an official SRL race time of 1:32:53. GG to both runners, and now we can just wait, enjoy the cutscene, the good music, and wait for a nice 3-digit number on the item percentage counter.
I'm really glad to see that there's no pixel flying away from the screen there. It's really good to see the good ending from stealinbread.
Does stealinbread play some classic guitar music there? Some Latin style guitar solo. Nice. Oh, actually, never mind. It's pretty catchy. I like how every like most of the runners try to give like their own little accents to the runs by adding like little gifs or little graphics or their own music to the game, and those sequences makes this race, like this entire tournament, really unique. And every race is like incredible fun to watch, see what the runners thought of to entertain the audience.
Yeah, just an absolute delight. And an absolute delight to commentate.
Definitely.
We have some races coming up tomorrow as well at 5 p.m. EST. We have Kaznode versus Fuzda and Banco versus Nutella Forever. Followed by 7 p.m. EOD Tex versus CFB. So check it out on the Speed Gaming channel tomorrow.
That's some catchy music. We got 99%, but yeah, that's 100% for stealinbread. So congratulations on legit place 2 in this race.
Yeah, not a bad race.
Well,
Right.
and I guess
Do it.
that's our job done. Was a pleasure as always to commentate with you.
Of course, yeah. Even though you're a filthy animal saver, you're still an okay guy, punk.
I appreciate it. And even though you're a heartless bastard who's gonna live in animal hell forever, I still like you.
Fair enough. So make sure to stick around in 20 minutes. White Mage Becky versus Shokushu, and we will see you guys next mission.
See ya.
that you're in.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Cross Product. Cephalon was scheduled to commentate tonight, but unfortunately I think he got run over by a reindeer, so you'll have to settle for me instead. And fortunately for me, Christofalo commentated right before this race, so I'm sure you are all out of rotten vegetables. And if you go to the store to buy some more rotten vegetables, Christofalo will be back on at the next race right after this one, so that'll be good. Oh, speaking of the devil. Anyway, it looks like Becky wanted White Mage Becky we have on the left here. She is getting she's resetting her stream, working out some bugs, I guess. I don't think we quite have the race up on SRL yet. Becky's coming back online here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The IRC up for the race so I can get the official times at the end. Okay. Yeah, it's my pleasure. I like doing the commentary thingy. Yeah, SRL. Just made the race on SRL, so. Okay. Let's figure out which streamer's audio we're using here. So like Shokushu's got some last minute practice going on right now. That's cool. Neither of the runners have splits up right now, so I'm gonna have to pull their personal bests up from Deer Tier. And according to Deer Tier, White Mage Becky has a PB of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 14 seconds. And just 23 minutes and 12 seconds behind her is Shokushu with 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 26 seconds. So, as we all know, everybody's been improving and getting awesome new PBs and not putting them on Deer Tier. So, it's hard to tell exactly where the runners are going to stand. But, you know, maybe they're probably both improved on their Deer Tier times. Maybe one more than the other. Who knows? So, okay, we got race channel is up. Just waiting for the runners to join in here. Oop. Go ahead and get the audio on my headset so I don't echo. Okay, so we've had a very jam-packed schedule tonight with Super Metroid Winter Hundo 20. Started off at 4:30, actually, with a race between me and Benko 87. Benko 87 defeated me, but that's okay. I'm still happy. I'm happy for him. He I think he's already raced Long Neck Turtle, so I think our group 13, Ghidorah the Explorers, should be pretty much settled up. We have Nutella Forever, and Benko 87 should be moving on out of group stages. With they actually have a race between each other tomorrow. But just about the tournament in general, like, it's really cool to see big turnout for this tournament, building up a lot of hype for Super Metroid, rolling into AGDQ, which, can you believe, is less than a month away. Wow. Hope you all have your tickets and your hotel rooms and your travel arrangements. And even building up specifically hype for the 100% category, which doesn't get a whole lot of love compared to any percent and I want to say RBO. Like, everybody watches RBO, but nobody wants to run RBO. Yeah. Great plasma practice over here from Shokushu, so hopefully he will not forget to fight Kraid to the point where he has to go and fight him with plasma beam. That would be tough. Yep. Again, we have White Mage Becky on her file select screen with her little cute bouncing Metroid baby pet. I like to call it her Petroid. Get ready for lots of brilliant jokes and plays on words for the next hour and a half. So, yep, sorry about that, but had to fill in at the last minute, so that's what you're gonna get. 3 hours. My best time is, I forget. On Deer Tier, it's like 1:53. I can't even find it. It's too low on the list. I can't scroll down that far. According to Deer Tier, it's 1:52.18, but I actually did just PB in a practice run earlier today and got like a 1:33 something. So I probably would have gotten a sub 1:33, but I actually wasted about 2 minutes in the escape going for the Mega Man trick. What's it called? Blue Bomber. Basically Mega Man. I was going for the Blue Bomber trick and escape, but that's fine. Well, technically. Alright, so just waiting for the runners to get all situated. Chokushu definitely trying to get in that last minute practice. I completely understand. I used to hold up the Friday night weekly races doing the same thing, but that's alright. Maybe he doesn't know the race channel's open, but Becky also has a raccoon on her stream that looks like it's trying to eat the baby Metroid. It doesn't show up on the restream, but okay. So let's see if we have an AGDQ 17 schedule yet. I can tell you this, that there will be a 100% race. It's a 4-way race between Zost, Behemoth, Ivan, and Wild Anaconda 69. Wild Anaconda 69 actually going to be running in the race immediately after this. And I can also tell you that Feral 5X, I don't know if it's a bonus incentive or if it's a sure thing, but we're going to make sure it's a sure thing if it is a bonus incentive. So it's a sure thing that after the 100% race, there's going to be a Super Metroid rotation hack by Feral 5X. That's going to be really cool. It's basically a ROM hack of Super Metroid where the entire planet is rotated 90 degrees. So when you start off at the ship, instead of going to the left to head into Crateria, you actually head up. And the very first thing you have to do is wall jump up the cliff on where you would normally be going left, you have to go up. So pretty tricky. And Feral 5X, I believe, has the world record in SM rotation. So should be exciting. More like Wild Anaconda 68. Alrighty. Not sure if Shokushu's having issues right now. Let me go ahead and check out Discord here. Looks like let me pop in Shokushu's sound, his stream. It's got music playing right now. Let me. I'm gonna go ahead and message Shokushu on his stream with the SRL link. Make sure he gets into the right channel. The one channel. Yep, that's me. Hey, I didn't die in Spiky Death Room. It's okay. Okay, what do we got? Oh, race is starting. Everyone's readied up. 10 seconds. Okay, excellent. Everybody get your excited faces ready because this is going to be an awesome race. All the runners have been putting in a lot of effort to make last-minute improvements